start of the Dalton Highway is just north of Fairbanks, and the mosquitoes were as plentiful as raindrops in a hurricane. Still, I had to get out to place my sticker and take some photos. Most of the 414-mile highway is dirt or gravel, and the conditions are constantly changing due to the unpredictable weather that can wash out parts of the road or turn a freshly graded stretch into Pothole City. There is plenty of construction on the road. Some crews are simply grading out the potholes, while others are eliminating frost heaves from winter, and sometimes it's like they're building the road anew. The road follows the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, an 800-mile, 4-foot diameter conduit for oil, stretching from the Arctic Ocean at Deadhorse in the north to the Pacific Ocean at Valdez in the south. Getting a screw in my tire just north of the halfway point definitely slowed me down and added a good hour or two to my drive due to stopping to check and or fill my tire with air. Camp was at a free campground a mile or so off the highway. I arrived pretty late, but it was still plenty light out. I was pretty stressed from a tire puncture, so I focused on getting my diesel heater running and slept soundly in a nice, cozy, warm van. I would see many of my fellow campers on the Arctic Ocean tour the next day. Heat. Yay! last 20 miles of road was the best pavement of the whole trip. I saw a muskox right by the road just as I was entering the town of Deadhorse. A grizzly bear was also hanging out on the outskirts of town. I took a picture at the famous sign outside the local all-purpose store and worked on getting a new tire. It wasn't cheap, but it did the job, and I got to see a grizzly in the parking lot. I checked into my hotel and went on a tour to the Arctic Ocean, which is restricted access ever since 9/11. Our tour guide and an older couple I had met in Fairbanks were all from the Miami Valley. I met a cool German named Lars who drove a motorcycle up from Oregon, also a Norwegian dude. I spent the night at my hotel, which was mostly a dormitory for the oil field workers. The next day I left town and headed south. The weather headed south was way better than going north. The roads were also a lot better since it had dried out a bit and some bad sections had been graded. I didn't even recognize some parts of the road I had traveled just a day or two earlier. It truly was a worthy adventure, and it lived up to all the hype and then